Hey guys, welcome to linguamarina. I've been doing business in the US since 2015, and believe me, I'm still learning, but there are so many phrases that I heard for the first time when I was interacting about business matters with Americans, and I was at first kind of confused by them because I heard them for the first time. So I want you to learn from my mistakes. I want you to know all of these phrases before you actually come to do business in the US. Or maybe you're doing business with native speakers already, so now I'm gonna add some phrases in your vocabulary that you can use to sound more like a native speaker, or if you don't want to sound like a native speaker, you would just know those phrases and recognize them when your business partners or your managers or your future employers use them, and you'll be like, oh, Marina taught me those phrases. Let's talk about those phrases. They're widely used in emails and business conversations. And just remember, Americans are very relaxed when it comes to doing business, so don't expect something very formal like, oh, today we gathered here to discuss this business opportunity. No, mostly, especially here in California, they'd be like, oh yeah, how you doing? Let's talk. How can I be helpful? So this would be the vibe of an English language business conversation. Okay, let's do it. Instead of let's do it, I can say, let's get the ball rolling. For example, you were on a Zoom meeting with a partner, potential partner, and you want to make something together. And if you decide that they're a good fit and you decide to sign the contract, they would say, okay, I'm gonna get the ball rolling. My assistant is gonna send you the contract tomorrow. So let's get the ball rolling means we agreed on everything. Now we need to start acting.
Excuse me? Can I get the ball rolling?
The next phrase, to call the shots. It means that in every project, in every situation, you have a person who's responsible for making decisions. Like, for example, if I'm a CEO at the company, I call the shots. Somebody, if my colleague comes to me and says, I think this person is underperforming and we should fire them, but I can't fire, it's you, the CEO, who calls the shots. So it's you, the CEO, who makes a decision. Let's look at another example. I hate that he's already calling the shots despite being a junior. So here, we have several levels of positions here in the US in the corporate structure. We have junior, middle or mid-level, and we have senior. A junior is basically someone who just started, and normally you would not expect a junior to call the shots. So in this example, somebody hates the junior for calling the shots, for making decisions he was not supposed to make, because they're junior, they just started, they need to learn.
I think the bigger question for this body to consider is, who do you want calling the shots in space?
Before we move on to the next phrase, I just wanted to announce that we've created a new business English course at LinguaTrip. It's called Business English 2022. We've created it with several other instructors, and I'm teaching a couple of classes in this course. I'm teaching American culture, I'm teaching some business English, I'm teaching how you should interact and network. And if your goal is to be an international specialist, if you're dreaming about starting a business in the US or anywhere in the world, if you're wondering, how do I become this citizen of the world whose business is international, this course would be the best fit for you because it will give you an insight how you get necessary contacts, how to build relationships. It would also teach you very important business English phrases. This is a 100% practical course. So you're not just listening to classes. You're gonna create your own CV or resume by the end of this course using all the templates that we give you. You learn from international HR agencies how to communicate with recruiters if you're looking for a job abroad. And if you're thinking of starting a business or developing a project for a bigger company, we're gonna teach you how to create a pitch deck for investors, how to create a pitch deck for your partner. So after this course, you will have all the necessary templates to pursue your professional dream. The link will be down below. The course lasts 2 weeks. There are 11 classes in this course. And because you're watching this video, you get a special price. Check it out using the link down below. The next phrase, to bring somebody up to speed. This means to get someone the most recent information about something. So for example, you're in the meeting and your boss says, can you please bring me up to speed with your TikTok project? This means, can you please update me what's going on with the TikTok project?
For now, bring her up to speed with what we know.
The next term that a lot of investors here in Silicon Valley like is called pain point. Pain point is basically a difficulty that you or your customer has. So the example will be, in order to come up with a great product, you need to identify your customer's pain points and create a product that solves those problems. So the synonym here would be problem.
The pedophile-facing nature of the app would present marketing pain points, yes.
To cut corners. To cut corners means to do something in a way that's fast without paying too much attention to detail, and sometimes this is necessary. This normally happens when you have a tight deadline and you think, I need to get this done no matter what, so you cut corners. Like, for example, if you need to create a pitch deck for your project, and you have a day left, you would just create it using PowerPoint, like the very basic design, very basic phrases, instead of hiring a designer or like working with a branding agency or whatever. So you just cut corners, you make it as fast as possible. Let's look at another example that would allow us to learn another term. The only way she can accomplish this action item and meet the deadline is if she cuts corners. Pay attention to action item. If you have a list of tasks, 1, open a bank account, 2, deposit money, 3, file a report with the IRS, with the tax authority. Every line is called action item, and then you cross it out from your list once you do it.
You don't cut corners. You do it the right way.
Ahead of the curve. To stay ahead of the curve means to be more advanced or have more information than your competitors. Now, for example, you can say, again, talking about social media, TikTok is ahead of the curve with its algorithm compared to other social media platforms. And by that, I mean that TikTok's algorithm is better compared to other social networks.
Don't worry, I can fill the walls with some new LA artists and people will think we're ahead of the curve instead of going broke.
Keep someone in the loop. Now, I use this phrase very often. I have a team who helps me create courses, who helps me do different projects. And when we have a meeting with them and they start something, like I tell them like, hey, let's start creating short videos out of my long videos here on YouTube and post them. And you can do that yourself, guys. Just keep me in the loop by sharing analytics every 2 days, something like that. So keep me in the loop means I want to be involved by receiving information. So please let me know if anything major happens.
Good. Keep me in the loop on that.
Circle back. Oh, this is the phrase that I hear 100 times every single day. So I jump on a call with someone and I ask them a specific question and they wouldn't know the answer immediately, and they would tell me, let me circle back to you on this because I need to double check. Or let me circle back to you with the analytics. So basically it means you follow up with something, and it's not only used for information that you have immediately, it's also used for situations when you need additional time to discuss. Like you've been discussing analytics and the meeting is over, everybody else has other calls, and you'll be like, okay, let's jump on a call tomorrow and circle back to this and discuss this deeper. A lot of people hate this phrase because it means more work.
But we can circle back to that later.
Okay, and the last but not the least is called C-level, C-level position. Very easy to explain this. So basically, the top, remember junior, middle, senior? Senior top positions start with a C. CEO, Chief Executive Officer. CMO, Chief Marketing Officer. CTO, Chief Technology Officer. And there are many C-level positions, by the way, in Silicon Valley. People don't like these formalities and they like to call themselves different words. Like some people would call them, like they would be the CEO and the founder of the company, but they would call themselves hacker at some company, or they would use the chief part, but their title would be like something chief magic officer at something. So they just like to make it fun. I think Silicon Valley is one of the most informal environments in business. But anyways, when we talk about C-level positions, that means we're talking about the highest positions in the company. Sometimes it takes years for people to reach C-level positions, or sometimes they just start their own thing and call themselves a CEO of a one-person company. It's up to you what you decide to do with your career. I just want you to know that the world is open for you. There is lots of opportunities, and I hope that English language, and especially business English, would be your instrument to reaching your goals with your career. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video up to the very end. I hope that you subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet subscribed, and I hope to see you on the course where we're going to talk about not only business English, but also American culture, networking, building relationships, and all of that. Thank you so much. See you soon. in my next videos. Bye bye.